welcome back. This is day one of week 3. We're over the hump part here. We are on the downhill slide, but we're going to be getting into a lot better stuff. We're actually really going to be picking up speed as we go through these last 2 weeks. Today, we're going to look at getting your sitemap registered. We're actually going to register with Google. We've already done that sort of with analytics, but we're going to get into their search mechanisms and look at sitemaps and the ability to go ahead and upload that to give Google an easy way for you to say, hey, here's my site, here's my pages, please index them. Now, the best place to start is going to be Webmaster Tools by Google. You can actually just Google it. I know that feels redundant, but if you go Webmaster Tools Google, you'll see something like this. Basically, Google Search Console, Webmaster Tools, all about the same. They're going to end up getting you there. You will be, and once you do, and this is google.com Webmaster Tools Home. Once you get into the Search Console, you need to be logged in as yourself, and logged into Google as whatever your site address is. Now, it's not crucial because what happens is that it ties sites to email addresses, so you could actually have, and you can share stuff out. So you could actually have your site appear on dozens of different email addresses. They could actually see the site set up for their various sites. But for now, you're probably not going to have any, probably aren't set up. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to add a property. Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to do my address, and I'm going to go and copy and paste that. And you'll see it's either an app or a website. We're not really worried about the Android apps right now. That's if you want to do advertising within an Android application. Definitely beyond the scope of this particular series of episodes and tutorial. Go ahead and add it. And what it's going to do is it's going to ask for a way to verify that the site is yours. There's actually several different ways to do it. You can either download a file that you're going to load onto your server, or you can, and that's the recommended, otherwise you can use your Google Analytics account, a tag manager, domain name provider, HTML tag. Google Analytics is actually pretty quick. Oh, they weren't able to verify it yet, so it must not be. Oh, I don't have it set up yet in there because it hasn't carried across. So we'll do it simply here. We're going to do a HTML verification file. It's going to download that. So we can actually go to our handy dandy FileZilla. And we're going to take that. And we'll see, here's our file. We're going to connect to our server. There we go. And I'm actually going to go right into, and what it tells you what to do, it tells you want to put that right into the root. So you should be able to go to your server and then go right to that HTML file. So that means I should be able to go right here, www.html, that's my root. So I'm going to copy that over. And done. And I'll just minimize that for now. Let's see if I can see it. Oh, I did .home instead of .name. That's a problem. So wait, let's go back. So I will go back here and go back again. There we go. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to delete it because I put the wrong thing in. And now I'm going to do the right name. And it's going to give me a different file. So if you happen to be at do so now I should be able to use Google Analytics. No, I wasn't able to pick it up for some reason. So instead, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to download the file. And I'm going to tell them I'm not a robot. I'm going to verify it. It's going to check it. Boom, it's been checked. And so now I have that site. Now, one of the things we do want to do is we want to actually register it twice. Just because of the way people do things, we're going to go back to, that is dashboard. I want to go up to Search Console. So I have to click back on that. I'm going to add another property. This is going to be the exact same one, except I'm going to put a www at the front. And yes, it does matter, because sometimes people will get to your site from www dot whatever your site is, or they may just go straight to your name. So it's better to get both of those. So we will get them both. And actually, if you have a secure version, which we will see later, I do the file upload. I think I can verify it from here. Darn it. It's because, once again, I entered the wrong name. I don't want that guy. Pay attention to what you're doing, because you don't want to do this. I want to take that. I'm just going to do that guy. So let's delete that, because I don't want the .com. I take that, and he's going to be www dot that. And now I'm going to just go ahead and verify. There we go. Now I'm verified. Took a little longer than I wanted, but nevertheless, now if I look, I'll see I've got two sites set up. And if I click on any specific one, it's going to have some information about it, including sitemaps. Now, it does have, you're going to get some messages which you want to jump into as you're setting your site up, probably this weekend. Is this going to give some information, some steps that you want to do to identify your site to Google. And it's going to basically, it tells you to add your www version, tell you which one, it's going to ask which one is your preferred version. Do you have a target country, how to share access with other people. It's going to walk you through submitting a sitemap file and learning how to use Search Console. Now, we're going to actually go ahead and submit a sitemap now, because what we can do is we can go to XML Sitemaps, maps.com, and that's xml-sitemaps.com. And this is a free site. If you've got a small URL, it works out just fine. So what you can do is you can give it your address. Oh, I want it to be... Let me make sure that's up right. It is, but I really want it to be /HMB. So let's see if it'll allow me to do that. There we go. It's got to have some pages. If it's empty, it's not going to give anything. So now it's just created it. I can view my sitemap details. And what's going to do is you can download it as an XML file or zip file. We're going to go ahead and do it as an XML. So it's going to be sitemap. I already had one, but I'm going to... So once again, I do my refresh. I'm going to take that and I'm going to move it over here into the root. I want to rename it. You probably won't have to. It will probably just be called sitemap. And it doesn't really matter because you will tell Google which one to create. So if I go back, what I want to do is actually create two. I'm going to create one for each of my sites. So I'm going to do that guy, and then I'm going to do the www. And I don't have it set up to properly link to that yet. If I go to Route 53, I bet it doesn't have my www in there yet. Oh, it does. So hopefully you won't have that same problem I ran into. Let's see if that's going to give me problems. Oh, it gives me problems because it's going to do the redirect. So I would have to actually go in if I wanted to, which I may do. Well, it's going to redirect everything, so I don't have to worry about that with Google. But if I wanted to, what I can do is, let's go look at that file real quick. Oh, it's opening in Xcode. Okay. Let me open this up and blow it up a little bit if I can. So what you see is it's pretty straightforward. I don't know how much you know about XML, but this top section you don't have to worry about too much. This is really just defining the file for whoever's reading it. And then what you're going to see for each page, you're going to see the name. So like here's my home page, when it was last modified, and then a priority. And there's a few other values that you can put in here that basically has to do with things like frequency and stuff like that, which tells Google how often have these files been changed, how important are they, things of that nature. All of that's important for search, but right now getting a sitemap is really the key thing we want to get into. So we won't go too deep into those for now. Once we've got our sitemap, then we can come back over to, I don't know why that's up. We can come back over here and back to our search console, and I'm going to go ahead into sitemaps, and I'm going to add or test a sitemap. And so I'm on the I'm on the www one. I can change up here which one I'm looking at. So I'm going to do the one that's not www. I will come back later and just change all of the pages in my sitemap that I showed you to www. You can submit that, and that would be fine if I wanted to do that. So it's going to say, it's going to assume it's going to be here in your address, and then I can do a test. And so it says, okay, found it, got everything. So that knows that I know that I've got it there. That means now I can come in, do the same thing, and this time I'm going to go ahead and submit it. And when you refresh the page, what you'll see is here, it's pending the index. It takes a little bit, even with 7 pages that I've got here, which is not much. It's not going to give you, it takes a little bit to get everything indexed properly. But you can look in here. You'll see if there's any errors or anything like that. Right now, no errors found. It went through all the pages. It's just got to take a little bit to go ahead and get those indexed. And so now I can see that I've got some pages indexed. Once I've got those indexed and give it about 24 hours, then I will start actually seeing some statistics over here on the other side. And so if I wanted to look at, let me see if I have one that is real. Oh, that's not what I want. Nope, don't want that one. Let me see if this one. Oh, that's an old site. And here's a current site. Here's the other one, but notice I didn't even submit a sitemap here. So it hasn't really done anything. I don't know how much traffic it's had in forever. Well, this is recent traffic. I don't know how many people have been on that in forever. This is an old Google site. Again, didn't have much there. Let me go to one that's actually giving traffic. So if I go to the developer site, let's see, is this the right one? Yeah, for some reason it's not. Oh, because this is the HTTP. But you'll see it'll pick up a site at some point. Let me see if I can get this guy to go. No, he's not showing anything either. Oh, that's the problem is I don't have a whole lot of searching going on these, but it's going to tell you what kind of search terms it's looking for. And once you get going, you'll actually see something pretty useful. Unfortunately, I don't have any that, well, like here's very simple. He's only got one click. So a couple of sites. This is an old search console, so not a ton of information there yet, but you'll see things like this. You can have some warnings, different ones indexed, and it's going to let's see if it'll tell me here. So here's an error, is I'm going to find that one of these pages was not found. Over here, I'm going to, oh, there's some sort of oh, that's the 404, but this other guy, some of the URLs are unreachable. Oh, so this, yes, because this is actually a site that's been moved. It doesn't exist there anymore. If you go there, it's not quite right because it's going to forward everything. So that will cause some problems. So, moral of the story is don't move your site. That's why you can see these are broken links anyways there. If I go to this prior site, not a whole lot of stuff has been going on there for a while. Let me see if I can open that up, though. Can I give that? Let's do last 90 days. Boy, he hasn't had, oh, that's because that's looking at queries, but I can see pages, but I haven't had a lot of traffic as you look back on this site either. So as you get going, though, you will start to see stuff that is useful to you. And once you get that going, like I said, you'll see it. You'll start seeing your homepage will pop up here. Start seeing some information about it. Definitely look at your all messages because that's going to tell you how to improve the search presence. It's going to tell you how to do things the Google way and basically get you going. The next thing you do is probably as a sort of like a homework assignment is basically if you do a search for submit sitemap Bing to Bing search engine. There you go. You're going to see some instructions on how to do that. Bing's similar, but a little different. You would have to register through them. It's a good exercise to go through just to get yourself comfortable with Googling your way into a solution. So that will do it for today. We'll wrap this one up. We're going to come back tomorrow and we'll do a little more googly type stuff. Until then, have yourself a good one, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.